everyone, this is my week 2 product lifecycle management mini learning module. The 3 learning outcomes that I would like to achieve are to analyze how Porter's 5 forces model is a complement to value chain analysis, to identify first mover advantages and disadvantages in an industry market, and to gain a better understanding of how to utilize a SWOT analysis. So getting into Porter's 5 forces model and the value chain analysis, the 5 forces model is a complement to value chain analysis because the company's technology strategy needs information from both places in order to be competitive in their market. The 5 forces model evaluates the attractiveness of products in an industry, whereas the value chain analysis describes the activities that are used to produce and deliver a product to customers. Entrepreneurs and managers utilize the 5 forces model to identify buyer power, supplier power, the threat of new entrants, the threat of substitutes, and the degree of rivalry. It helps them understand what attracts customers to their industry, and this information could impact an entrepreneur's decision to start a business that competes in a certain industry. For managers, it may impact what products are going into their portfolio in order to meet this attractiveness in their industry, and it also helps identify the specific sources of attractiveness and how the industry will be in the future. The value chain analysis includes a description and identification of the source of raw materials, inbound logistics, the manufacture of products, the distribution to entities that sell to customers, marketing, and after-sales services. For entrepreneurs and managers, it will help them figure out where the most value is added and created within an industry. It will also help them understand what stage of the value chain to focus on in case the industry changes direction. Third, it helps them understand if new or established firms will be more effective when they're in their innovation period. It also helps identify key performance drivers during the different stages, and it will help make decisions about ownership of different parts of the value chain. Getting into first mover advantages and disadvantages. There are definitely advantages of being a first mover. You're able to gain control over key resources if you are first to get into the market. You also can obtain better locations, different supply channels, and really set the tone in the industry before your competition. You are also able to target the best customers through effective advertising. And you're able to exploit switching costs as long as you've created a positive experience with your current customers. There are some advantages to being an early mover, and there's some disadvantages to being an early mover and advantages to being a late mover. If you're a late mover, you reap the benefit of seeing the distribution channel and infrastructure that your competitor actually defined already for you. You actually don't have to figure everything out on your own, and it saves you more time and it allows you to be more creative in different areas. Your product design can also correct any mistakes that the first mover might have made, and it may allow you to come out with something that's mistake-free. The first mover can't always adapt to changes that customers need right away, so if you're a late mover, you may have an advantage to be able to adapt better than they can. You also can benefit from research and development that the early mover has done. Research and development is very costly, so the first mover actually would reap all of these costs, and the late mover would benefit and save on these costs. Getting into the SWOT analysis. The SWOT analysis is an acronym for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. It is utilized by organizations when they are strategically planning and making business decisions. A SWOT analysis can be utilized in business, or it can even be utilized for personal growth. Some of the reasons SWOT is utilized are to identify solutions to existing problems that you may have, to explore new business opportunities, to determine where change might be needed along the way, and to adjust plans mid-course to gain a better outcome. When looking at a SWOT analysis, the strengths and weaknesses are considered to be external. So if you're looking at a company, this would be inside information that the company is aware of, as well as information that is visible to the customers. Opportunities and threats are considered external, as these forces are outside of the company that can create both benefits and challenges in a company's future. Some examples of internal factors are the human resources, the physical resources, finances, processes that a company might have in place, and the experience that employees have at the company with these processes. Some examples of external factors are industry trends, economic trends, funding, demographics, laws and legislations. A SWOT analysis is a good starting point for any team looking to achieve an outcome together, as well as developing future goals. So my supplemental materials, I have a video from Harvard Business Review that explains Porter's 5 Forces model. It's a good video and it doesn't dive too far in detail, but it does allow you to get a clear picture of the 5 Forces model. There's a good article on value chain analysis from NetNBA. There's a first mover article from Fortune. There's how to perform a SWOT analysis of your organization. And there's an Apple SWOT analysis as well, as I know some people are very familiar with Apple products. The 3 discussion questions that I am coming up with are: the first one is to identify the industry that your company is in currently. Provide a short analysis using the Porter's 5 Forces model and the value chain analysis. Determine your industry's strengths and weaknesses through this analysis. The second question is to think about a company that you know of or have purchased a product from that was a first mover. Do some research and figure out what advantages and disadvantages that they had experienced along the way. And the third question is to choose a company and conduct a SWOT analysis by identifying the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Identify how the SWOT analysis can be beneficial in both the product strategy and the marketing strategy. Thank you for listening to my Week 2 presentation.